Hey guys, welcome to our Makerspace X Whale interviews. Joining us today, we have a very, very, very special guest. From the Twitter whale to the dumpling emoji, Disney Shanghai Mickey Mouse to Conan O'Brien Pale Whale, Yiying Lu creates iconic designs and brands which transcend the linguistic barriers, unite people, and enchant audiences around the world. Yiying Lu is an award-winning artist, entrepreneur, educator, and bilingual speaker. She was named a Fast Company Most Creative People in Business, Microsoft's Top 10 Emerging Leaders in Innovation, and a Shorty Award winning in design. Sorry. She has been featured in the New York Times, Forbes, Bloomberg, Fast Company, The Atlantic, NBC News, Time, Wired Magazine, The Verge, CNN, and BBC. Jesus Christ, that's such a long list. And today, she will be launching a new collection on Makersplace, Magic Makers, which celebrate creators, artists, startup founders, and makers of all kinds. It's so incredibly fitting. Thank you so very much, Yiying Lu, for joining us today. It's always an honor and a pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I wish I sit next to you. I can hand you in a sparkling water.
Yeah, no, Jesus Christ. I mean, you need to stop achieving because if this list gets any longer, it's gonna be an entire speech.
Oh, man. I really appreciate it, Jan. You're the best.
No, but yeah, no, seriously, thank you so very much for joining us. And people can already see the getting a glimpse. We're gonna jump into it in a second. The pieces from the drop look fucking amazing. I'm sorry, but they are so beautiful. I'm in love with them. Thank you so very much for sharing this with us. And okay, so let's jump into a few questions. To start, I would like to know a little bit of your background, how you got started with art, and how this list became so huge.
Oh, I appreciate it. Let me just make sure I share some of the slides here so that people can get some visual. Thank you so much, Jian. It's always a pleasure for me to join the Whale Community Discord and the live stream. And it's always so fun to engage with the community and just having a chance to share my story and also share my life with everyone. So let me quickly give you a little bit background if you're not familiar with my work. But I am pretty sure if you use Twitter early in the days, you might be able to see this whale on Twitter. And it's so funny that I always joke, Jan, that I was engaging with the global whale community even before we have a whale Discord
That's
community.
true, right? Yeah, right. Of course.
So I created this art piece back in 2000, I believe, 7. And I made it as a birthday e-card for my friends far away because I was born and raised in Shanghai, China, originally born and raised there. And I moved to Sydney, Australia for college. And in 2006, I went to do exchange study in London. So in 2007, I was back in New South Wales, the state of where Sydney is. So I was living in Sydney, which is in the state of New South Wales. And I made this art piece of this gigantic white whale lifted by little birds and then sending to people as a birthday e-card because I couldn't be there physically to attend, let's say, graduation ceremony in London or Shanghai or your birthday party or your anniversary. So I thought that what's the best way to express my love and also gratitude is to draw it visually because that's my visual language. That is kind of my love language. And so I created this piece. Initially, it was just using the whale as a symbolism, like, hi, my wish to you is so big. It's like this gigantic whale being lifted by birds across the ocean for you. Because in reality, like the real whales in reality cannot fly, but with art, you can give wings to the whale and let them fly. So that was the initial reason why I created it. And then the next thing you know is there's this teeny tiny little startup in San Francisco called Twitter. You might have heard about it. And they were over capacity a lot. And then the next thing you know is they were using it for their capacity page, and which really engaged with a community from around the world. So these are community work, from fine art to street art. This is in New York City. This is in Denmark. We have, this is a real spaceship designer of Lego. So people did a lot of sort of self-generated content, which is really fun. There's also licensed content from the Singapore government. They actually licensed the art for the public transit. And then there's also people just do like cakes and drinks as a community celebration of this very special internet downtime. So that's kind of how I connected with the tech community, or just global community at large. I made a piece of art of a whale. And then the next thing you know, I met people because of this whale art piece. Somebody tattooed it on the leg. This is Critter from Florida, even made into the CNN news. And then I also did this piece for Mr. Conan O'Brien, who was one of my heroes. Also a really funny comedian and also a writer. So this was how I connected with the tech community. But then in 2000, I believe it was 2015, I moved to San Francisco. Actually, this is a good segue to the job. I moved to San Francisco after I initially came to San Francisco in 2009. I was lucky enough to win and design award because of the whale, and it was in New York. And on my way back to Sydney, I had to stop in the West Coast for a layover, and I choose to come to San Francisco for 3 days. And within that 3 days, I made literally like hundreds of friends. And a lot of them actually become entrepreneur, because it was also the same time, 2008 and 2009 was the global financial crisis. So a lot of people started to do their own companies, and a lot of them become startup founders, and they all need design works such as logos, marketing campaigns, which is something I was working on at the time. And so I worked with hundreds of startup founders from 2009 all the way to 2015. And eventually in 2015, there's this global VC accelerator called 500 Startups. The founders actually realized that I have already worked with a lot of their portfolio companies. And so they say, hi, why don't you just move here since you come to the Bay Area so often? I remember I was traveling back and forth between Sydney and San Francisco almost like at least 3 or 4 times a year. I think the most frequent was 7 times a year. So I eventually moved over here. And the unicorn was actually initially created in 2016. So as you can see, this is the unicorn as part of the job. It is actually in the mystery box. It's one of the, you will have 16% out of 100% chance to win this job. So this job was actually initially created during the time I was still helping startups. But in San Francisco, we have the Pride weekend to celebrate the global LGBTQ community. But it's also really like anybody could join the celebration. It's a way to celebrate life. And the unicorn is always a symbol for magic. And in the same time, because we are also working as a startup community, we wanted to celebrate entrepreneurship and venture capital, sort of helping and empowering founders from around the world. And as you know, in the business term, unicorn also means companies that evaluated at $1 billion or over in the business world. So it was just really fitting these two concepts, which is exactly what we do and also what we care about, which is combining this. So I created this is the colorful unicorn with the multicolored. It's also a way to celebrate the community in startup world, the community just in the global land.
That's amazing. That's really, really cool. I love that you said like, oh, I made hundreds of friends, and then, oh, here's a picture. Put all of them there.
It's a really good photo, isn't it? This is
It,
actually
it is. It really is.
it's a really awesome photo. This is my global team. They're actually traveling from around the world, Jan. It's actually an annual team retreat. So we have team members from Vietnam, from India, from Korea, from Indonesia, from Norway, from London, from Mexico City, from I think from Johannesburg. It was so amazing. I think we also have someone from Rio. They all come from Brazil. And so
Oh.
they all came over to San Francisco for 2 weeks because it was a team retreat. And the team retreat, it was just so happened the team retreat fall onto the San Francisco Pride weekend. So we did the Pride parade together with the unicorn t-shirt that I designed because we thought it would be a good idea to have something. Actually, it was one of my friend T. T was the initiator of this community event. T organized the event, and T came to me and said, "Hey, would be really great if we can design something, just for the event." And I was basically using my personal time. I thought I personally wanted to create a unicorn anyway. This is my personal art piece. I wanted to give the community chance to wear my art piece on a t-shirt. And so I kind of just volunteered to create this. And then the next thing you know, everybody loved it. And everybody was wearing the t-shirt on the street. It was so funny. Like other companies are usually wearing their company logo, but we actually wear the art that I created specifically for the event. And so like other companies, like folks from like my client company, like Microsoft and Disney, they all come, they're like, can we get this t-shirt? So it was really special. So that was the story of the reason why that I created the unicorn in the first place. It was really a way of celebrating my global community, my global friends. And then after the unicorn, I've been always wanting to do more. Like I want to do a series of this sort of mythical creatures that embodies different culture and also different mythical stories. And so the other one that I always wanted to do was the Phoenix. And the Phoenix was actually, I've been wanting to do it for years. And I've been kind of contemplating on how I'm going to draw this. And I've tried several times, but just never come to fruition until last year. So until 2020, as you know, there was a global pandemic we were experiencing. I mean, we're still in it. And it was around the same time, there's another global startup community I was also helping with. I was a mentor in a lot of different startup. I'm still am, but I was mentoring a lot of startup community. One of the startup community was actually in Shanghai, and it's called the China Accelerator. Even though it's called China Accelerator, the people are actually from around the world. In fact, this is Oscar. Oscar was originally from Spain. And the team member also, they all coming from different parts of the world. And the startup company that they empowering and helping with are also global companies. So it was a very funny story. The managing partner of that startup community said, hey, we want to celebrate like the resilience of the startup community. And it just so happened it's their 10th anniversary. And he was saying like, oh, just had a discussion on Twitter. He's like, what really represent the startup resilience? You have a guess, Jian. You guess.
No, I'm so curious now. What is it?
What do you think?
Oh my God, I don't know. This is
Okay.
a difficult one. I don't want to embarrass my people. Come on.
Okay. This is what he said. No, literally, this is what he said. He said, what really represent the resilience of the startup world? The cockroach. And I'm like, no.
What?
He's like, we wanted to get like a cockroach on the t-shirt because cockroach survived from, it's kind of true. Yeah, that's right. Well, he said the cockroach could survive from the nuclear bomb. So, it's like, I'm not making this up. I have to find the original post on LinkedIn. It was posted on LinkedIn as well. It's very professional. I'm not joking. He said he actually had a quote. It was quoted on some publication. and he mentioned that, he just casually mentioned that he's gonna, make all the people wear the cockroach T-shirt. So I said, please don't do that. I'm like, no.
That was not at all what I was expecting. Not at all. I'm glad it was well meant.
Exactly. I always enjoy telling this story. So I basically said to myself, I have to convince William to change his mind. And the way that I can convince him is I'm just going to come up with an awesome design that he cannot refuse. And so that my community is not going to wear a cockroach on the T-shirt.
So I need to put a couple of genius comments from the community. First of all, they said if you were to make a cockroach, it would be super cute. And since we're talking about the fact that they survive everything, someone said that a phoenix is nothing but a magic cockroach.
Wow. I love that reframing. Oh my God. That is the best reframing ever. Yes, exactly. See, I hear you. I'm gonna make my screen smaller so I can actually see everybody's comment, because my screen is full screen right now. So I'm gonna use my phone to see everybody's comment on Discord. I mean, our community is genius. Like, I love the community. Everybody is so genius. Man, you're right. This is probably my favorite cockroach ever so far. But this is such an awesome reframing. Yeah. So this is this is the main reason why I finally made this, because I made this. I was like, if anybody needs to do the T-shirt for the community, I basically, again, I volunteered myself. I was like, William, do not. He already had a picture of a cockroach he was about to use. I'm like, don't do it.
Unbelievable.
Oh, so that was the reason why this particular illustration was born. It was also kind of good for me as well. It's very cathartic. Of all the things that I was talking about, it was a pretty rough year. And no, in all seriousness, I know that I love to joke around, but in all seriousness, it was a pretty rough year. I mean, it's still pretty rough. And I'm just really grateful that I can sit here and talk to you all, because I was just chatting to Jian early on. This job was actually supposed to be happening on the 17th, which is a week ago. But the reason why we push it to the 26th, you might, like some of you, if you're very active on Makerspace, you might already seen that they previously were posting the announcement the job was happening on 17th, because that was what we originally planned. But to be honest, I just finished a surgery. But don't worry, I'm fine now. I literally had the surgery on the 10th. And so we have to postpone the job for another week so that I can be healed and I can work on these, really fun community event. I can talk to you. Like a week ago, my health was not in optimal state. So it's really hard for me to kind of have energy like today. So I feel a lot better now, and it's just so awesome to be back. And it's so great, Jian. You have no idea, to just be able to feel in my element and also engage with the community, talking to you. It really means a lot. So the Phoenix for me, it's also very symbolic, because it really does feel like rising from the ashes, rising from the challenges, and rise above all the difficulties that, we have been all enduring from last year and this year. So incredibly grateful. I mean, it's a very funny story from the cockroach.
It is.
But also, yeah.
No, it is. And I feel like your work always encompass communities, really, right? And when we see you representing those teams, it must have been tough, because you know what happened last year, it prevented us from being close to the people that we wanted to be, right? And for many communities it halted everything that they were doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, glad to finally be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel now, and being able for you to go back to those communities. And as you said, after, I hope, a perfect recovery, being able to come back and talk with us again. So I'm really happy on how things turn out. And yeah, the Phoenix is really cathartic in the situation. Amazing symbolism as usual coming from you.
Thank you so much, Jian. As you were talking, and I had to check who came up with all these amazing comments. And I just find out that today is Jian's birthday. Oh my God.
It's not, don't believe them. It's not,
Oh
it's
my
not,
God.
it's not,
Everybody
it's
was
not.
like, happy birthday, Jian. Is this your birthday today?
Don't believe them. Don't be-
Okay, it is your
okay,
birthday today, isn't it?
it's not my birthday today. It's not my birthday today.
But everybody was like, happy
It's not.
birthday.
I know. But every single time if they say something and it's about me, it's a lie. You can assume it's a lie. You can assume it's a lie. So many things. If I made a list of things that I would be if those people were to be believed, it would be pretty whack. And I tell you that. And this thing about the happy birthday, every day this happens,
Oh
and
God.
every once in a while, someone thinks it's true. You guys see what you guys did? Stop fooling people. It's not nice. My birthday is on the 26th of March. March,
Oh, okay. So
it's
you're okay, got it. So you're Aries.
yes, I am Aries. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, this is great. Now we know the real birthday of Jian is on the 26th of March.
No,
Don't believe
they
the
know. Oh,
rumors.
they know. And I think the day that I least received congratulations was on my birthday. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Thank you.
But oh my God, so sorry. I don't want to go on a tangent. What I would like for you to tell us a little bit more now is about the so many drop mechanics that are going to be involved in this very special drop.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing about this job, sort of deviating from what we were talking about before, we just came from the Phoenix, which is the fire, and now we coming to the water. So let me just quickly have the first slides there, so it's easier for me to give an overview, so that then everybody will be able to dive into. I'm curious. Also in the chat, it will be also good for you to mention which one is your favorite. You can just mention which one is your favorite, and later on you can also write a tweet on Twitter. We will be giving away two limited edition. There's only 10 available in the entire world, in the entire universe, and we're actually having them as limited edition. The value is 555 US dollar. We will be giving two of the Pegasus away, which is going to be given to the whale community as a token of appreciation. And so if you can tweet about which of the seven makers of magic characters resonate with you and why, if you can tweet about it, and hashtag magic makers, and then we will choose two of the winners to get the two limited edition Pegasus. So the thing with this entire job, it's a lot of fun. There's several different mechanisms here. One is the magic box. So as you can see on the top of the slide, you can see the wind lion, the griffin, the Pegasus, the hippocampus, which is the seahorse, the phoenix, and the colorful unicorn. So these five elements are basically, they have different probabilities to win. The winged lion is standing for courage, and the griffin stands for strength. The hippocampus, which is the seahorse, stands for creativity. The phoenix stands for resilience. And the last one is the unicorn stands for magic. And each of them, I will go into details of how much probability or how many probability each one you will be able to win them. And then there's one of one in the bottom left corner is the 1 out of 1 golden unicorn. And I have a really good story about that one too. It's personally, it was actually very much resonating with my background and also the work I do. And then in the bottom middle, you can see the blue Pegasus, which is also one of my favorite as well. Actually, they're all my favorite. It's really hard for me to choose, but I'm not biased. But I really like this one, and the reason why we made this one as a community, like we made 3 out of 7. As a community giveaway is we really want to encourage people to share their personal story. The beauty of the Pegasus is also a mythical creature that represents poetry. It has been long used in the poetry society as a way for people to do storytelling. So one thing I think would be really great is encouraging people to write about their maker's experience or their creator experience or collector experience in the NFT space. And we will be choosing 2 of the tweets from the whale community to win the Pegasus. And the last one, which is very, very exciting, raffles. So these raffles are only $3.33 for you to enter. And so we will be doing the raffle enter within the 30 minutes after the job is opening. And there's only 10 available for each of the category. The golden one is reserved for collectors who are already on the Makerspace and who potentially already own at least one piece. And then the creator, which is the color for Pegasus, is reserved also for makers, creators on the Makerspace. So I will go into the detail of each of the drop. So in the mystery box sale, by the way, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. And Jian, feel free to let me know if people have any questions that you think might be important for me to answer in real time. Perfect. Thank you. Because my screen right now is full screen, so I will be focusing on the screen. I won't be able to see the text easily. So the mystery box sale, the one that has the least probability to win, which is the most rare, is the Hippocampus, which is also the seahorse. So the seahorse, the pricing is $333 and the probability is 4%. And the artwork will be available through a mystery box mechanism, which if you purchase an artwork from the box for a flat ETH or US dollar amount, and you will receive a probabilitical selected edition. And after 100 editions have been sold, there will be a countdown of 15 minutes will be triggered. So within 15 minutes, the entire job will be ended. So this is the Hippocampus. And the story with the Hippocampus, I always like to share the story. There's actually a lot of research for me to do. The Hippocampus is often regarded as a symbol of creativity and hope because it was a benevolent and spiritual creature that helped people. So in the Greek mythology, hippocampus were the sea monsters. And similarly to the aquatic seahorses with the head and front legs of a horse, but then they also have winged tails of a fish or a dolphin. So Poseidon, the god of the sea, was carried across the ocean in a chariot, which pulled by these hippocampus. And the by the way, the plural of hippocampus is called hippocampi, hippocampi, which is CAMPI, hippocampi. That's the plural. Who sometimes took him out of the water, and so. As a mythical creature, the hippocampus, or plural is hippocampi, strongly associated with creativity and imagination. The sailors actually regarded the hippocampus as a good omen because it was also a symbol of agility and also strength. So that's the story of Hippocampus. It's only 4%. So I hope you win. And the next one is the unicorn. The unicorn stands for magic. And again, it's the similar mechanism as the Hippocampus. The artwork will be available through the mystery box mechanism. And if you purchase, you will have a chance to win the possible to win that one as well. And the probability of this one is 16%. It's slightly higher than the Hippocampus. And the Phoenix is actually the second rarest one. The unicorn is actually the third. The Phoenix, the probability is 12%. So if we, in the end, sell 100 pieces, there's only 12 pieces will be the Phoenix. As I said, it will be after 100 pieces are being sold, there will be a countdown of 15 minutes will be triggered. And after 15 minutes, everything will be gone. And these are the still pretty rare. The probability of the chance to win is around 1/3 of the chance, which is the winged lion, stands for courage. The winged lion is also a lot of fun for me to work on because it is also a mythical creature that resembles a lion with bird-like wings. And it is also found in various different ancient civilizations. For example, the lion of St. Mark is a winged lion that symbolically represents the Saint Mark, the evangelist and the patron of Venus. So it was also a lot of fun to work on that one. And the pair of the winged lion is the griffin. So the griffin was the same amount of probability like the winged lion, which is 34% of the chance to win. And I really like the griffin too, because the griffin is a legendary creature with the body, tail, and the back leg of a lion, and the head and the wings as an eagle. And it represents the strength, courage, and the wisdom in the Greek mythology. And it's also the fun thing about griffin, it has a very strong association with gold because according to the stories from the Silk Road, it was actually written that the griffin were said to lay eggs in the burrow on the ground, and these nests contains gold nuggets. So that's the reason why griffin has been also very much strongly associated with good luck as well. So again, the probability of winning the griffin is 34%. And it's also part of the mystery box. So that was basically the summary of the mystery box.
Amazing. So just to refresh you guys' memories, I want to see everyone, making a tweet with the hashtag Magic Makers.
Yep.
You guys can also tag the whale community if you prefer. Not mandatory, but it would be helpful. Choose your favorite mythological creature that is featured on the drop and tell us why you choose. Why does that speak to you?
Thank you. You said it beautifully, Jian. You did it such a beautiful job. I actually have also written it down here, so it's easy for us to remember. So basically, just like Jian said, he summarized it so perfectly without even looking at the words. The Twitter giveaway is that please pick one of the characters from the entire Makers of Magic series that resonate the most with you. If you go to the Twitter land, you should be able to see on my Twitter feed, it should have it, or you can just go to the link below. This is actually a shortened URL, yiyinglu.com/MP, stands for Makerspace. So if you go to that link, it will open up the entire job description on Makerspace, and you can see each of the traits of the jobs. And then you can choose the one that resonate the most with you. And if you can just tweet it about, which one is your favorite, why does it resonate with you, and hashtag Magic Makers. And if you're coming from the whale community, maybe put a whale emoji there so that we know it's coming from the whale community. and it would be great to also, if you have space, to tweet to Whale community as well, so that it's easier for us to collect all your tweets, and hopefully you win.
Yeah, hopefully I will win. That's
right. That's right. Yeah, you can enter it too. It's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun to see you share your stories and why you resonated with your piece. I would be so curious to see which one is your favorite.
No, it's difficult for me because like I absolutely love the hippocampus. I find it amazing that for some reason, the plural of a mythical creature. But yeah, now I know as well.
Hippocampi, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I was never expecting to know the plural for a mythical creature. But I mean, the more you know. I would take it. I love it. But then now I was thinking, but the cockroach thing, maybe I should go with the phoenix.
It's a good story, and the phoenix was a really fun story. Well, you still have time. You have some time to contemplating on that. I haven't even introduced the golden unicorn yet, so I'm curious if you might change your idea. But the Pegasus, you can also choose the Pegasus as your favorite too, just because this is the giveaway. It is also one of the 7 traits, which is Pegasus stands for inspiration. And I really like it. And the reason why I choose Pegasus is because Pegasus in the Greek mythology is a winged horse associated with poetry. And in one tale, he was tamed by the goddess Athena and presented to the muses. And these 9 daughters of Zeus and also the goddess of memory represent the arts, including music and poetry. And this is why you might see in a lot of poetry society, they use Pegasus as a logo or symbol for their society logos. So that's also the reason why that I was very interested in using the Pegasus as a vehicle to invite everyone to write about their own maker's magic story. Because at the end of the day, the utility of art is to connecting with people. And for me, my biggest interest is use art as a way to cultivate community and to engage with community, to engage with human stories and share their human connections with each other. So yeah, we're really excited to hear your story of why you pick certain mythical creatures and why does it resonate with you and what's your relationship with that particular piece. So I hope you win. There's 3 pieces being reserved to the whole community, and the other 7 pieces will be limited edition. I hope you can get it. The Pegasus is also one of my favorite. And these are the 2 community raffle drops. They are as the same value as the other drops, but the reason why we make it super affordable is we really want to give back to the community, and we make it into as a raffle. So there's only 10 editions available, and it's open to the existing Makerspace collectors for the golden one, and it will be open for 30 minutes after the job goes live. In about 3.5 hours. No, actually 2.5 hours. In 2.5 hours, it will go live. And yeah, I hope you win as a collector. And this is another community raffle job, which is the Rainbow Uni Pegasus. There's also only 10 available. That's going to be open to existing Makerspace artists. And this is also the first time we're giving back to the artist community. And this is something I'm super proud to do, which is we wanted to also not only rewarding the collectors, which I'm super appreciative. If it's not because of you all collectors, there wouldn't be a creator economy, right? So I myself, I love collecting, but I also love to give back to the creator community and to really encourage everybody to continue create with your amazing creativity. So we basically came up with the 10 editions super limited, and it's open to the existing Makerspace artists, and we're only having them $3.33. So like I love repeating numbers. So you can check out the link below for the entire collection. Again, it's open for 30 minutes after the job gets alive at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, which is in 2.5 hours. And lastly, which I'm gonna tell the story of the golden unicorn. This is a very, very special piece for me to work on, because it is one of a kind. There's only one piece available. We only have one limited, like ultra limited edition. And the reason why I was creating the golden unicorn is actually inspired by the historical gold rush in California. At the moment, I'm physically in San Francisco. As I said, I moved here because of the startup community, because I really love the entrepreneurial spirit here in San Francisco Bay Area. But it's also, unicorn is a celebration of the startup community here, the entrepreneur spirits here. And myself, as a Asian American or Chinese American who lives in San Francisco, this piece is particularly significant to me, because Chinese people historically referred California as the Gold Mountain, and as evident by the maps and returned overseas Chinese. However, as a gold rush sort of occurred globally, in Australia, in actually close to Melbourne, in Victoria State, they also found a lot of gold later on. So people would call Victoria in Australia the new gold mountain, and then refer California as the old gold mountain. And in fact, this is something quite fascinating. If you happen to speak Chinese language, you would know that the name of San Francisco in Chinese is actually called Zhoujingshan, which literally translates to the old gold mountain. Zhou means old. Gold means Jing means gold, and Shan means mountain. So Zhoujingshan, which is the Chinese translation of San Francisco, is literally old gold mountain. And I thought that was so fitting and so interesting that this is also one of the reasons why I think gold is the color that really kind of resonate in this case with me, because of the name of San Francisco. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the Phoenix also is the it was the flag of San Francisco's city flag. I forgot to mention that. That part was also something I thought it was interesting. But for me, as an artist who have been working in the startup world for the last 12 years, I always wanted to capture the spirit of entrepreneurial, like all the beings here in San Francisco. So after I created the colorful unicorn in 2016, I thought it would be a good idea to make it into a golden unicorn, because the unicorn is also a terminology in the business world to indicate privately held startup company that valued at over $1 billion US. And the term was actually coined in 2013 by venture capitalist Yiying Lu. And she wrote an article on TechCrunch and chose the mythical creature of the unicorn to represent the statistically rare and very, very kind of almost unique successful venture, and that was being called the unicorn. And so this piece was sort of my tribute to the people and the spirits of the immigrants that coming from the past to San Francisco, California, to find the physical gold for a better future. But in the same time, it is also a celebration to the people and the spirit of today, who are entrepreneurs that working in a metaverse from around the world to not only find gold. Actually, I think you guys are creating the digital gold, which I think it was so fitting with the theme of this job, which is the makers of magic. We're literally creating a new sort of golden era So that is, in a nutshell, of the story of the golden unicorn, and it stands for the seventh trait, which is luck, because you got to be lucky to find gold.
That is amazing. They are so packed with meaning, and people are already coming up with so many stories, and they're pretty ones. It's really cool to share, and to have the opportunity to read through a few of those. There's a person here going unicorn because I have felt like a perpetual immigrant as I explore geographies and careers and hoping to strike gold. I love that one. They are all amazing, really. My favorite magical creature is the unicorn. They have long symbolized hope, and in this world, nothing is more magically powerful than hope.
Oh,
It's yeah, this people, guys, you guys are coming along beautifully. Keep them coming. I love them.
oh,
Ying, yeah, you managed to pack them with meaning, and people can relate. Of course, you always being the magician of symbols.
oh God. Thank you. That will be the next job, the magicians of symbols.
No, yeah, people actually want to know when you're gonna increase the roster. People want to know when you're gonna be looking at more magical creatures, from other different cultures. That
Oh my God, you guys are the best. You're reading my mind. And thank you, Gian. Like literally, I love the whale community because people like literally like reading my mind. Because I've been wanting to do a whole series called the Lucky Symbols Around the World. And this is just the start. This is the very first makers of magic. And this I haven't really publicly talked about it, but I want to give an exclusive to the whale community because we're all homies. I really love you guys.
hmm
And I would love to hear any suggestions from the community. Like, what would you like to see? And I also wanted to be able to learn more about your culture and what in your culture it was being considered as lucky. I mean, Jian, this is something we can always do another session, like another just, a whale time. It would be great to discuss about people's favorite lucky symbols or magic symbols because I do want to expand the family, right? I was actually wanting to draw a dragon, but I realized that it's so hard to define dragon in one simple form. I actually think if I'm gonna do a whole, like, I will have to do a whole drop of the dragon. I can't just have one design of the dragon because dragons in East and West, they look completely different. The medieval dragons versus the more sort of Asian auspicious dragons, they look very very differently. But also in the same time, there's a lot of things that have commonalities too. So I would absolutely create like a whole extension of the magic symbols or lucky symbols. So I'm looking forward to hear from the community. What would you like to see? And yeah, we'll make it happen.
Amazing, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. As we said last time, and now we made it come true, I'm sure we will have plenty of opportunities to talk about new ideas and to discuss future drops. Ying came to stay, and stay she will. So I'm just really, really impressed that we managed to go on so long without talking about food.
Yeah.
Can we actually do it? One stream without talking about food? Wow.
Did people actually ask in the channel? Because I can't
I
I can't see the comment right now. Let me.
they no they luckily for me, no one asked about food.
Oh, don't.
Um but had they done it, we would, it would have derailed for sure. I should make a rule, cannot ask about food. I'm sorry, I can't.
We should have an entire session about food next time.
Oh, yeah, right. And then, yeah, I mean, we can pretend that that's going to prevent us from like derailing the conversation. It's not, but I mean, we'll take it.
I will gladly take it, and I think that if anything, I would love to also give this as my offer in the future. It'd be great to have like maybe like a monthly event. We should definitely just have a dedicated StreamYard session talk about food, because for those of you who don't know, I also made the food emoji on your phone. So let me just find a slide to also show you. This is kind of a sneak peek. Potentially, we will be doing some job in the future about the food emojis that I have created.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course.
For people who actually are like kind of confused, how did you just jump from one topic to a complete different topic? I also happen to be the artist behind all these food emojis that you use every day on your smartphone. So the dumpling, the takeout box, the chopstick, the fortune cookie, and the bubble tea or boba tea if you're in America. These are the food emoji, but I also just so happen to also created the artwork behind the peacock emoji. Actually, if you look at my Twitter feed or looking at my website, you will find some of the stories behind these emojis. At the moment, I have not made them into NFT yet, even though billions of people are using it. This was and has been my little contribution to bring cultures together through food. But we are looking at to make it into like a more meaningful campaign to tie in NFT with food, art, and also potentially in the future we can do more with food to bring people together. So thank you for asking the question about food.
Yeah, we can't, we have to talk about it. It's okay, we will survive. And yeah, podcasts to talk about weird foods of the world, uh eventually.
Eventually, yes. Well,
Yes.
this is all in the plan. We have to have a list, Gian, of the thing that we need to talk about.
Oh, we can come up with one. I'm pretty sure we can come up with one. We already touched on pretty weird ones. So yeah, and I'm confident that we can pull this off. Really, we can pull this off. We can fill a show with weird food.
Absolutely, I'm all in. I'm all in, Gian. You know that.
So yeah, no, we definitely we gotta give it a try. So Ian, thank you so very much for this opportunity. I think we managed to cover pretty nicely what this drop is all about. It encompasses so much stuff. It's so full of meaning, and it's beautiful. So thank you so very much. I really really appreciate your time talking here with us, and looking forward to the next.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gian, for always being such a wonderful moderator and a friend, and also just a passionate, a passionate food friend, foodie friend.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm just, to be fair, I'm not doing anything. I'm just having fun. Uh,
Well, that's the most important thing, I guess. That we have to have fun whatever we do, right?
yeah, I guess. So yeah, I also want to say thank you to the Whale community who participated beautifully today. You guys did great. I'm really proud of y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We're so happy to have you here. It's so amazing to always talk to the community. I hope that one day we'll be able to party in person. But for now, let's all party on the internet and on the metaverse. And I can't wait to see your story being shared on Twitter. And please make sure you hashtag the magic maker, and also tag the whale community. And if you're running out of characters, put a little whale emoji there so that we know you're coming from the whale community. Thank you again, Jian, for hosting me, and also all your wisdom and ideas around food. It's a never-ending topic.
It truly is. So, yeah, no, thank you so very much. Thank you, the community. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, a beautiful night. Spend some time with someone you love, and yeah, eat some nice food. Have a beautiful day. Thank you,
That's right.
everyone. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
more magic to the community. Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.